Let's make one thing very clear right off the bat. James Earl Ray is a footnote in history. He confessed, he pleaded guilty, he was sentenced to 99 years in prison, he died behind bars. But he wrote a book. And when I found out that he wrote a book, I thought he might be an interesting person in history to talk to. So I went through his publisher, and James Earl Ray called me. He called me at home. I was taking a nap one day and got a collect call from a maximum security prison in Nashville, Tennessee, and there was James Earl Ray on the other end of the phone. And I interviewed him, and then I asked him, I said, hey, listen, if I could get myself down to Nashville, would you be willing to sit down in a room with me and record a radio interview face-to-face talking about the King assassination? He said, well, they don't like me a whole lot, but you can ask the prison people and see what they say. So I asked. They said, well, you know what, there really aren't any rules against it. Sure, if you want to come down and talk to the guy, you can come down and talk to the guy. So I did, and it was one of two times that I actually traveled to Nashville inside a prison and sat down with James Earl Ray.
Steve, he never admitted that he did it. Do you believe that he did it?
Well, he signed a confession and entered a guilty plea. He says that's because the Justice Department was going to bring Ray's brother, Jerry Ray, into it, to make him an accomplice, conspiracy, and try him. And also Ray's father had escaped from prison back in the 1920s and had been on the run for 4 decades, and the Justice Department, Ray says, was going to throw him back in jail. So he agreed to plead guilty. He maintained until the day he died that he didn't do it. Do I believe him? I'm not a big conspiracy guy. I'm really not. But there is a lot of compelling evidence, and the King family buys into this as well, that points perhaps to the fact that James Earl Ray at least did not act alone or didn't do it at all. But you know what? If you give me 99 years in prison, I'm going to come up with some pretty good stories too. So the bottom line, I just don't know.